up, guys? I am back with another video, and today I decided to make kind of a shorter video on what exactly is Nations Cup. For those of you who've seen this, and you guys have probably heard me talk about it, I've talked about it a lot in the last couple of months, is Nations Cup, Team USA, NSL, Team USA, all of that stuff. I decided I kind of wanted to make a dedicated video as to what is Nations Cup specifically, just to kind of explain a little bit more in depth as to what it is, like what I'm doing, why it's such a big deal, and all of that. And then for the people who are not in the sport can kind of have a better grasp as to what's going on as well. I'm going to explain a little bit of what Team USA is, and then kind of the Nations Cup premise. Actually, I'm gonna flip it. So for Nations Cup is very similar to what like the World Cup or the Olympics is the best way I like to describe it, or whatever. It is a competition where you've got multiple different countries that come from all over the world that come to compete against one another in the NSL format. I just finished up my NSL season with my guys in Tampa for Obey. And so we're playing for the same rules, just from a national level, if that makes sense. So instead of representing the team down here in Tampa, I'm representing the actual country itself. So what that means is I am one of 12 players that have been selected to travel to the Netherlands, which is where it's being hosted. Hellenaveen, the Netherlands, which is like right on the right on the eastern border between the Netherlands and Belgium, at Real Strike Arena. And I've been selected to go participate and compete for Team USA against 11 other countries that are all doing the same thing for the crown title of Nations Cup champion. This is the second year that they've done this. The NSL, last year they had 6 teams that went. They had Italy, Spain, France, Germany, the Netherlands, and Belgium ended up winning it all. And then this year we've got 12 teams. So the same 6 teams from last year, but now you need to add the US, Australia, England, Wales, Romania, and Portugal. So those 12 teams will all come to the Netherlands to compete against one another for the Nations Cup champion, or for the crowned Nations Cup champion. The whole process for Nations Cup was kind of an interesting one. I can't really speak for the other teams. I can only just speak for the US stuff. All of our players that were selected were all selected for a specific reason, but all of the players that have been selected have all played the NSL season at least once throughout the season, if not more. And a vast majority, I think, except for like one player, was representing their home teams actually at the US National Championships in Rhode Island. So all of us have a vast amount of experience, and we're now going to go do this to represent the country, which is, a lot of fun. It's really exciting. It's a probably quite literally once in a lifetime opportunity. And yeah, so I'm excited. Next, I want to break down kind of how the Nations Cup event is going to work. So it's going to work a little bit differently compared to how they did NSL this previous season. However, because there are 12 teams, they're breaking them out into 2 groups of 6. So you'll have Group A with 6 and Group B with 6 teams. And I'll kind of make a little bit of an infographic to kind of show you how this stuff works. And what they did is they do this thing called a live draw, and it's very similar to kind of how the World Cup teams get drawn as their groups, where it's a kind of like a lottery system where they spin a wheel, and depending on what team pops up is how they get organized into groups. And what they decided to do for this one specifically is because you've got 6 teams that are returning and then 6 new teams. The returning teams get what's called seeded. So they're going to get split. So you'll have 3 of the returning teams will be in one group and 3 in the other. And then they'll be mixed in with the other 6 teams that are new this year. So for Group A, you've got the Netherlands, Wales, Spain, Portugal, Italy, and Australia. And then Group B, which is kind of the group of death, because that group is absolutely stacked. You've got Belgium, who's the returning champion, England, who is kind of an up-and-coming with their SpeedSoft scene, and you've got France, who has got probably some of the best social media following in the SpeedSoft scene as a country. Romania is kind of the wild card in all of this. They came out of nowhere. They're actually a replacement for The Czech Republic was actually the 12th team, and they had to pull out due to personal reasons, and so Romania was able to fill in. Then you've got Germany, who was the runners-up last year, and then you've got the United States. So yeah, this is going to be an absolutely incredible tournament. It's a 4-day event broken out into each day as kind of a different leg of the tournament, if you will. Thursday is friendly matches. So you'll get to play 2 of the teams that are not in your group as kind of like exhibition friendly matches to kind of practice with your team and kind of get a lay of the land, because for a lot of these teams, they haven't played at the some of them, or I shouldn't say a lot, some of the teams like ourselves have never played over in the Netherlands, so getting used to the field and stuff like that is important. So that goes on Thursday, and then Friday is the first day of group play, and so you'll play everybody in your group. So we'll play 5 group games, play 1 against every team in our group, and then the top 4 teams from that group move on to the knockout, like the bracket, on Sunday. So we play 2 games on Friday, 3 games Saturday, and then Sunday it goes the top 4 teams from Group A and the top 4 teams from Group B, you know, get organized, whatever, and then they play each other until there's 1 team left that's then crowned Nations Cup champion on Sunday evening. One of the big parts as well for us, and I say us as in Team USA, is that we're one of the teams that's got probably the longest to travel. We don't have the longest, that would be Australia. They're going quite literally the other side of the world, but we're definitely the second furthest team to travel. And, you know, we got to go over the Atlantic Ocean, and it's making that, you know, some of the logistics very tough to try and do. Like, we can't really bring guns over there. So thankfully to Monk and LA Kappa Customs, they have built us custom-made guns to have over in Europe already for when we get there, so we don't need to bring our own guns, which makes things so much easier. But for kind of the schedule for what we're doing, me, Luke, and Zion are the 3 players representing from Obey. Moving on to the schedule for like me, and particularly, I leave the Monday before the tournament. So the tournament, like I said, runs from Thursday to Sunday. I leave on the Monday because going overseas, you technically lose the day, if you will. So I leave Monday afternoon, fly to Amsterdam and get there early Tuesday morning. And that's when we're gonna meet up with a lot of the other guys that have flown over there. Get in a van and we will head to the Airbnb. We'll chill out there, you know, Tuesday night, hang out, you know, party, have a good time, you know, whatever. Wednesday, we've actually booked some time at the field itself to have like a private practice session for us to kind of get acquainted with what we're doing, because a lot of us have never played together since we've all been playing with our house teams back home. We haven't really played together as a unit. So that's really what we're going to be doing on the Wednesday, practice, you know, get accustomed to everyone, all that stuff. And then Thursday is all of our scrimmages start, or I should say our friendly matches. We open up against Spain, which Spain is known. They are probably the other team with a really massive following on social media. They are always doing stuff from a media standpoint. So and they're going to be a very tough team. They had a tough showing last year at Nations Cup, finishing 5th, but they're definitely not a team to underestimate. So we open up with them. And then our second scrimmage, exhibition, friendly game, whatever you want to call it, is against Italy. Italy was the 6th place finisher from last year, and definitely going to be a fun game for us to play. Moving on to Friday for our first 2 group games, we open up against Belgium. And that was, when we saw that, we're like, of course, we had to open up against the reigning champion. But I think it'll be a good confidence boost for us either way, regardless if we win or lose, is unless we get absolutely destroyed, which I don't think we will. But if we end up getting absolutely destroyed, then yeah, that would be a real, you know, hit to the ego. But regardless of how that game goes, I think that's really going to kind of set the mood and set the tone for us moving forward, is to get our hardest game out of the way and just kind of get the ball rolling quickly. And then for our second game of the day on the Friday, we play against Romania. That game, I really don't know what to expect. There's not really much out there about them, so I'm not going to comment much on it because I have no idea. Saturday, which I'm already kind of, you can see the grin on my face. Saturday morning, we play against England, and the amount of jokes and memes that have been going back and forth about England versus the United States has been quite entertaining to watch and whatnot. And then to make it get even better, we then follow up and play Germany later that afternoon. And then to round out the group, we finish off with France. France, I think, will be a good game. They play a very unique style, so I'm curious to see how we match up with that. And hopefully that, with everything goes well and works in our favor, if, we win, I think we need to win at least 2 of our 5 games to guarantee going top 4. We move into Sunday to our knockouts, and I don't obviously know the schedule for that because that is to be determined. Hopefully that kind of explains or sums up a little bit of both the Team USA schedule and like how this stuff works from the national standpoint, and then also like how Nations Cup works. I just wanted to put that out there so people are, for people who follow me on social media, haven't seen a lot of the Nations Cup stuff and probably wondering what this is. This is a better idea, or at least a better way for me to explain in depth what is going on, why is this such a big deal, and whatnot. So yeah, if there's any other questions, feel free, hit me up on Instagram, drop it in the comments, whatnot. If you guys want to watch these games, they will actually all be streamed on YouTube, on the NSL YouTube, and I will have I'll link the schedule down below, and I'll also put the schedule image picture on my Instagram, as well as I'll put it obviously in the video so you guys can see with all the times, both Eastern, local, and Pacific time. But other than that, hope you guys enjoy, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.